All right, so NBA free agency is now underway. It's honestly one of my favorite times of the year because you get to see a lot of interesting things go down. In certain years, it's been more interesting than others. And I think this year is going to be a really interesting year with the Kevin Durant drama, the Kyrie drama, the James Harden drama, really all the Brooklyn Nets drama. For the Warriors fans, not really any drama. And, a lot of it comes down to, when you're looking at a team in free agency in the NBA, are you a buyer? Are you a seller? And you can really only be one. But if you won the championship, you're kind of neither. You're really trying to just kind of keep the guys you had together because if you won a championship, it means your formula is working. But unfortunately, that's not how this business works. Unfortunately, all the time, you just can't keep guys all the time that don't want to stay or you can't reach an agreement with. So the Warriors had two guys leave today, and it's sad because these are guys that won a championship with us in this past season that made an impact some way or another. So I'll get into the first one. I mean, this one didn't upset me as much as the other one, but Juan Toscano-Anderson will sign with the Los Angeles Lakers on a 1-year minimum salary contract. So the Warriors probably could have kept him, but if you look at his impact, it wasn't that great this season. I mean, he's really like a 4 or 5 points a game kind of guy. He didn't really play at all in the playoffs. I really, if you had given me this news a year ago, I would have been a lot more upset because he actually was a pretty good role player in the 2021 season, being a starter a couple times. He was a guy I liked a lot. And believe it or not, I actually met Juan Toscano-Anderson before he was even on the Warriors. He's from Oakland originally, but he was in the G League when I met him at a basketball camp like 5 years ago, and he was cool. And then to see him kind of get called up and kind of make his way into the lineup, it was cool. But Toscano, never a guy that was really in our lineup a whole lot. But he did make an impact. He was really a 4 or 5 points a game type of guy. He was good on the boards and pretty good defensively too. And he really, I think, brought the energy a lot more than other guys. He wasn't, a guy that was particularly scoring a lot, but he was a guy with a great attitude, a guy that wanted to win a championship. And he got his championship. So I got to be proud of the guy. Now, the next one, I saved this one second because it was a little bit more upsetting. Gary Payton II, he will sign with the Portland Trail Blazers in a 3-year, $28 million contract. He definitely deserves a lot of money. He's a great player. And if you look at his story, going from a player that was overlooked to an NBA champion, a guy that made a big impact, a guy that we really needed after his injury that, when Dylan Brooks injured him, he was missing. We were missing him, and he came back for the finals. He made an impact, and it's sad that he's gone because although he was in the Warriors system for a couple years, he really was only on the team for 1 year, which was this past season. And I think he was overpaid a tiny bit by the Blazers. I'll be honest, but I don't think the Warriors were going to pay him $10 million a year. But at the same time, I think it's a massive loss for the Warriors. This past season made a pretty big impact for the Warriors. He averaged, he played all but 11 games in the regular season, averaged 7 points a game, which isn't that much, but you got to look at his defense being amazing. His defense for a guy that's 6'3" is unmatched. It's impeccable, and he's an NBA champ too. Now I'm proud of the guy, but it sucks to see him go. Right, Gary Payton. I'm sure he's going to do well for the Blazers, a team that's pretty guard heavy also, and so it sucks to see him go. It sucks to see Juan Toscano-Anderson go, but it's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. I'm sure the Warriors aren't going to be affected super greatly by these two losses, but at the end of the day, it switches up the team chemistry. You could tell Gary Payton and Juan Toscano loved being Warriors, and that just won't be a thing anymore. So anyways, guys, I'll keep you guys updated on other free agency stuff that'll happen. I'm sure, as it goes along, the trades and signings don't make a huge impact like over time. Usually the big ones are first, and so we'll see what happens, but that's it. So anyways, I'll see you guys later, and yeah, go Warriors.